so here we are. Everyone's always asking for the art stream. They're wondering when the art stream is happening. Well, here we are. We're back. We're art streaming it up. And, thanks, Snowball. He said here's money for the arts and an audio technician. I really need help, man. I don't know. I hate technology so much. Now I have to, like, after the stream happens, go back into YouTube and then, like, clip that whole bit out. Oh, God, it's so fucking irritating. Anyway, let's refresh this page. I'm so not in the mood anymore.
Here's money for the arts and an audio technician.
Thanks. Yeah, I definitely need an audio technician for sure. Alright, well, anyway, let's get into it. Fuck it. What do we have here? So, we're doing the late Empire. The baths of, how do we say this? Caracallus? Caracallus? Talk about Caracallus in general. Then the Trajan Decius or Decius? The battle Sarcophagus? Tetrarchy? Constantine and Christianity. Okay, I know how to say that. Colossus of Constantine, the Basilica Nova, the Arch of Constantine, and then there's this page in this textbook that talks about the big picture, and we go through all of the ages of the Roman Empire that we went through. It gives you the big picture, so we'll do that. That's fun. Manny Ramos says that I need Hotep Jesus. Yeah, I do. Okay, thank you, Joe Martin. He says Tetrarchy. Okay, I will probably search the pronunciation for some of these guys because sometimes I don't know how to say this shit, and YouTube helps. So let's get into it. Okay, this is textbook where we're at. I may zoom it in a little bit, actually, get up close like that. And, so, yeah, what we were working with last time was, what was it called? The High Empire, I guess is what they called it. And so we were going over all this shit. The column of Trajan. So someone was asking what time periods we're dealing with here. So this is like around 100 CE. Yeah, 110 CE. And yeah, then we were getting into Marcus Aurelius. This is a sculpture of him looking all stoic and shit because he does stoicism. And then we started looking up some Marcus Aurelius quotes from some of his stoicism writing, and it was pretty good. And here we are into the late Empire. So let's zoom in here because my contacts right now are, I don't know, they're messed up because everything's still blurry. I may just take them out and put my glasses back on, so we'll see. So we have the late Empire. By the time of Marcus Aurelius, 2 centuries after Augustus established the Pax Romana, Roman Empire was beginning to erode. It was increasingly difficult to maintain order on the frontiers, and even within the empire, the authority of Rome was being challenged. Marcus's son, Commodus, sounds like a commode, around 180 to 192 CE, was assassinated, bringing... Ooh! What's happening here? Oh, nation state. What's up, buddy?
Keep your chin up and, for the love of God, get a new mic technician. Plenty of slaves around DXA bomb.
What are you saying here? Let me see. Keep your chin up. I'm so sad about my tech mistakes. For the love of God, get a new mic technician. Plenty of slaves around. I don't know what that is. The bomb? Okay, yeah, I know, I suck. Hopefully I can get some help out. Where were we? Yeah, okay, so Marcus's son Commodus was assassinated, bringing the Antonine dynasty to an end. The economy was in decline, and the efficient imperial bureaucracy was disintegrating. Even the official state religion was losing ground to Eastern cults, Christianity among them, which were beginning to gain large numbers of converts. The late empire was a pivotal area in world history during which the pagan civilization of classical antiquity was gradually transformed into the Christian civilization of the Middle Ages. So that's exciting. The late empire is a little bit different, turning away from all those like pagan shit and turning to Christianity. This does also get exciting. Pagan stuff's fun, but I love the Christian aesthetics. It's so cool. Oh, ignore the emoticon at the end. Okay, thank you, Nation State. You're so kind. Thank you. Oh, these eyes. Okay, so Bass of Caracalla. Let me look up how to say that.
Caracalla.
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 Caracalla. Okay. So the Bass of Caracalla. Civil conflict followed Commodus's death. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't see. I want to look cute and all, but I just can't see. Gotta take them out. I don't think they're strong enough. Everything's blurry. Sorry. I'm a mess. Oh, God, okay. Whew. Okay, much clearer. That's good. Okay, civil conflict followed Commodus's death. When it ended, an African-born general named Septimius Severus, 193 to 211, we was kings, was master of the Roman world. The Severans were active builders in the capital. Septimius' son and successor Caracalla, 211 to 217 CE. Oh. Hey, fuck Google too. What's up? We got that on. I'll let that GIF ride out a little bit. So Caracalla is Septimius' son and successor. He built the greatest in a long line of bathing and recreational complexes erected with imperial funds to win the public's favor. Made of brick-faced concrete and covered by enormous vaults springing from thick walls up to 140 feet high, the Baths of Caracalla covered an area of almost 50 acres. What? 50 acres? That's pretty crazy. The design was symmetrical along a central axis, facilitating the Roman custom of taking sequential plunges in warm, hot, and cold water baths in the tepidarium, caldarium, and frigidarium, respectively. There were stuccoed vaults, mosaic floors, marble-faced walls, and colossal statuary throughout the complex, which also featured landscaped gardens, lecture halls, libraries, colonnaded exercise courts, palestras, and a giant swimming pool. Archaeologists estimate that up to 1,600 bathers at a time could enjoy this Roman equivalent of a modern health spa, both men and women. Oh yeah, this is it. Damn, I want to go in there. This is Frigidarum, baths of. Ooh, Kitty wants to come in. Go out. Okay. Frigidarum, baths of Diocletian, Rome, 298 to 306 CE. Remodeled by Michelangelo as the nave of Santa Maria degli Angeli, 1563. Wait, what is happening here? The groin-vaulted nave of the Church of Santa Maria degli Angeli in Rome was once the Frigidarum of the baths of Diocletian. It gives an idea of the lavish adornment of imperial Roman baths. Wow, that's pretty cool. Come on, what are you doing? Come on, stop. Why do you gotta get into shit while I'm streaming? I want it. I want those baths. I'm into it. Okay, so what were they saying? It was just like, thousands of people could attend these baths, although at different times of the day. A branch of one of the city's major aqueducts supplied water, cool, and furnaces circulated hot air through hollow floors and walls throughout the complex. The concrete vaults of the baths of Caracalla collapsed long ago, but visitors can get an excellent idea of what the central bathing hall once looked like from the nave of the Church of Santa... whatever in Rome. Connor, what are you doing? Come on. Stop. Go. Just go. So yeah, you can see it from this church in Rome, which was once the Frigidarum of the later baths of Diocletian. Although the Renaissance interior has many new elements foreign to a Roman bath, its rich wall treatment, colossal columns, immense groin vaults, and clerestory lighting give a better sense of the character of a Roman imperial bathing complex than does any other building in the world. Ooh. Okay. From bathhouse to church. Okay. Cool. The hype is real about Marcus Aurelius. Okay. Commodus was Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. Okay, thanks for that. Machiavelli in his writing in parts blames Constantine for the fall of Western Empire. Wow. Okay. Oh, hello, Jeff. Pleasure. He says, I didn't know you were doing an art history until now. It's been a while since I got your notifications. I'm a collector of antiques and ancient antiques, and my cousin was Pope John Paul II. Wow. That's awesome. I love that shit. I love antiques. Fuck yeah. Yeah, so let's go back to this bathhouse. Alright. Then we have... Oh wait, could you guys see the picture of that? No, you couldn't. Let's go back this way. There you go. This is the bathhouse. You can see it better now. So yeah, this is the Frigidarium, the baths of Diocletian, Rome, 298 to 306 CE, remodeled by Michelangelo as the nave of the Santa Maria whatever church, 1563. So, yeah, originally a Roman bathhouse, Roman. So then we have Caracalla is also remembered for his cruelty. Okay. He ruthlessly had his brother, a contender for emperor, murdered, as well as his wife and father-in-law. A marble portrait, this one up here to the left. Okay, he looks pretty ruthless. Yeah, it's the guy to the left. Alright. A marble portrait in which the sculptor depicted the short hair and nose-cropped beard by etching into the surface brilliantly captures Caracalla's personality. Okay, so yeah, do you see his like beard? It's like a little bit etched. It's got that 5 o'clock shadow going on. The emperor's brow is knotted, and he abruptly turns his head over his left shoulder as if he suspects danger from behind. Caracalla had reasons to be fearful. An assassin's dagger felled him in the 6th year of his rule. He does look pretty badass, this guy. Okay, the artist brilliantly captured the emperor's suspicious personality in this portrait. Caracalla's brow is knotted, and he abruptly turns his head over his left shoulder as if he suspects danger from behind. This is the portrait of Caracalla on the left here, 211 to 217 CE. It's in marble, 1 foot 2 inches high, and it's at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Met, in New York. Love it. Cool. Alright, I gotta see how to say this guy's name, but it's the Trajan Decius? Trajan Decius.
Decius, also American Decius.
Ooh, Decius, how fancy.
Decius, also American Decius.
Decius or Decius, okay. Cool. So Trajan Decius, the next half century was one of almost continuous civil war. One general after another was declared emperor by his troops, only to be murdered by another general a few years or even a few months later. The unstable times of the so-called soldier emperors nonetheless produced some of the most moving portraits in the history of art. Following the lead of the sculptors of the Marcus Urellius and Caracalla portraits, artists fashioned likeness of the soldier emperors that are as notable for their emotional content as they are for their technical virtuosity. The portraits of Trajan Decius, 249 to 251 CE, for example, the marble head, this figure up to the right here. Yeah, you can see it. For example, this marble head to the right, illustrated here, depicts the emperor most known for persecuting Christians as an old man with bags under his eyes and a sad expression. Okay. In his eyes, which glance away nervously rather than engage the viewer directly, is the anxiety of a man who knows he can do little to restore order in an out-of-control world. Sounds like today. The sculptor modeled the marble as if it were planked clay, compressing the sides of the head at the level of the eyes, incising the hair and the beard into the stone, and chiseling deep lines in the forehead and around the mouth. The portrait reveals the anguished soul of the man and of the times. Sounds like today. Okay, so detail of portrait bust of Trajan Decius, 249 to 251 CE. It's marble, full bust, 2 feet 7 inches high, and it's at the the Capitolini Museum in Rome. This portrait of a soldier emperor who ruled only briefly depicts an older man with bags under his eyes and a sad expression. The eyes glance away nervously, reflecting the anxiety of an insecure ruler. You know. Caracalla definitely looks more badass. Sorry about it, buddy. Sorry. Guy on the left. Alright, guys, let's see. How long have we been on? Half an hour. Okay, I'm just going to show a little for a few minutes. Where are we at? If you guys want to help me out, this is what I'm doing for work right now. You can always help me reach my goal, this little like thing over here. Well, and you can help me do that by going to the link below it, which says streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV. You can always help me out. It's getting hot. I actually got an air conditioner, but I don't know if it's going to be too noisy for you guys. Alright, let's get back to Caracalla. Or whatever's next. What's next? What do we have here anyway? So we have the Trajan Decius, okay, and the Battle Sarcophagus. Okay, cool, cool. Hello Matthias, I'm doing alright, thank you so much. Going through a lot of family stuff right now, so sorry I haven't been around, but need to get back, need to get streaming. Ah yes, I love reliefs too. I don't know why we're here though. Oh no, we already went through all this. There we go. Okay. Now we have the Battle Sarcophagus. I hope I'm saying that right. Beginning under Trajan and Hadrian, and especially during the rule of the Antonines, the Romans began to favor burial over cremation. This reversal of funerary practices may reflect the influence of Christianity and other Eastern religions whose adherents believed in an afterlife for the human body. Whatever the explanation, the shift to burial led to a sudden demand for sarcophagi. By the 3rd century CE, burial had become so widespread that even the imperial family adopted burial in the place of cremation. An unusually large sarcophagus, figure 346, this thing up here, that relief that someone said, they love reliefs, of the mid-3rd century is decorated on the front of a chaotic scene of battle between Romans and one of their northern foes, probably the Goths. Fighting the Goths, okay. The sculpture spread the writhing and highly emotive figures evenly across the entire relief with no illusion of space behind them. This piling of figures is an emphatic rejection of perspective. It's true. It's pretty cool though. So, hold up, where are we? This piling of figures is an emphatic rejection of perspective, like the contemporaneous soul portraits of the soldier emperors. It is, it underscores the increasingly dissatisfaction late Roman artists felt with the classical style. Within the dense mass of intertwined bodies, the central horseman stands out. Excuse me. Within the dense mass of interwoven bodies, the central horseman stands out vividly. Let's look at him again. The central horseman. Alright. Yeah. Fuck, I'm getting hot. Getting hot. Ah, this stupid thing. Okay, there we are. I might try to put the air on. You guys can stand the noise. You guys hear that? Is that too loud? Alright. Where are we? Okay, the sculpture spread the piling of figures. As an emphatic projection within the dense mass of intertwined bodies, the central horseman stands out vividly. He is bareheaded and thrust out his open right hand to demonstrate that he holds no weapons. Can we see? Oh, I see him. Okay. I see him. Several scholars have identified him as one of the sons of Trajan Decius. In an age when the Roman army was far from invincible and emperors and would-be emperors constantly murdered imperial rivals, the young general is boasting that he is a fearless commander assured of victory. His self-assurance may stem from his having embraced one of the increasingly popular Eastern mystery religions. On the youth's forehead is the emblem of Mithras, the Persian god of light, truth, and victory over death. Many shrines to Mithras dating to this period have been found in Rome. Cool. Okay. Let me know if this thing is too loud. Okay, thanks, Jay. He said, I somewhat hear buzzing, but it's not that loud. Okay. Thanks. Let me know if it's too distracting, guys. But, like, I'm dying. I need air. Hey, Douglas Nelson, what's up? He gave $5 and said, a lot of people think the Colossus of Rhodes collapsed and it's part repurposed elsewhere, but maybe he just walked away. Keep up the great work. Yeah, maybe. Jeff Jones said, I have a recently discovered secret of my family and ancestors you might like reading. My family's genealogy is the third oldest in the world and dates to 70 BCE. I can post a link on your Facebook page. Okay, that sounds awesome. Cool. Jealous. Jay needs to turn on his AC too. It's been sitting here. Now he's feeling the heat. That's right. Alright. Sorry guys, I'm a little like off today, but I hope we're like getting the groove. We're chilling. We're chilling. Postmaster Dan said that his family helped conquer England in 1066. Cool. Break for a second. I don't know. You guys want to chill with me while I have a break, or do you want to like watch a commercial or something? I feel like I want to eat some more cheese puffs. Joe Martin gave what? 50 pounds? No way. Oh, buddy. Thank you. Wow.
Next stream, let's hit 500 tongue out.
That would be awesome. Alright, we'll just have munchies right now. Alright, I'll stop. Sorry. The next stream, let's hit 500. Thanks, Joe Martin. Shit, man. Thank you. Forget the commercially outside noisy ambience is refreshing. Do comic book promoting. That's a good point. Actually, what I got, and I was going to do a whole other stream about it, but I did get some things in the mail. You guys like the sound of the air conditioner? Okay, if it works for all of us, then that's great. Because I certainly needed it. It was getting really hot. But I got in the mail my Magic Cop, cover by Pablo Romero. And then I have Graveyard Shift by Malin. So that's really fun. I'm really excited. I really was excited about these ones. Let me see what else I have here. And I also have this Pablo drawing back here. I don't know if you guys can see it. But yeah, it's like a metal print of Pablo's Lady Alchemy drawing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I love Pablo. What am I eating? I'm eating Cheetos. Cheese puffs. Cheetos, cheese puffs. Just a little stoner food, you know. Speaking of, I think I'm gonna have a little cigarette. Where are papers? Papers. Come here. Papers. Some tobacco. Got some Turkish and blended tobacco. That's right. Past Master Dan, he said that a crown is representative of divinity. Yeah, that's true, and that's why in like alchemical imagery and stuff like that, you will see a lot of crowns, or they call it Kether in Kabbalah. It's Kether the crown. It represents like this closest Sephiroth to divinity. Yeah, that's why I have crowns behind me. Some of my costumes. Let's see what else I got. I got this one. The Greeks were cooler than the Romans. Yeah, we kind of went over that too. Someone definitely said that the Greek art was much better because the Roman was just trying to copy the Greek and also just a bunch of political busts. And that's pretty true. It's pretty true. Yes, I pinned them to my hair, Blake. That's right. You know how it is. This is a fun one too. I have really cool earrings that go with them too, actually. They're like these big cross baroque looking earrings. So cool. I should really get through this fucking chapter because I'm really dying to get over Roman shit. But yeah, these earrings are all like crosses and stuff. Crown. Like, how cool is that? Maybe I'll dress like that when we're doing like Baroque or Renaissance. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll dress up in costume next time. Okay, so we have, when the Russians converted to Christianity, they claimed that the Latin churches of the Germans had no beauty, but the Greek churches were very beautiful. But modern Catholic churches are beautiful. Do you think the modern ones are? Sometimes they look like office buildings lately. Okay, we gotta get through this shit. Let's see how to say this. Tet. R-A-R. C-H-Y. Pronunciation.
Tetrarchy.
Tetrarchy. Okay, Tetrarchy. I wonder if you'll cover America's art history, not just the U.S., the whole continent. Probably. I do believe this is the most comprehensive guide on art history. Brighten this up a little bit. Alright, let's get back to it. So, Tetrarchy in 293 CE, in an attempt to restore order to the Roman... Oh, excuse me. Okay, in 293 CE, in an attempt to restore order to the Roman Empire, Diocletian, 284 to 305 CE, whose troops had proclaimed him emperor a decade earlier, decided to share power with his potential rivals. Oh, how kind of him. He established the Tetrarchy, rule by 4, hence the Tet, right? Okay, so he established the rule by 4 and adopted the title of Augustus of the East. The other 3 tetrarchs were a corresponding Augustus of the West and Eastern and Western Caesars. I love that. It's very esoteric. Whose allegiance to the 2 Augusti was cemented by marriage to their daughters. Wow. Artists often portrayed the 4 tetrarchs together and did not try to capture their individual appearances and personalities. They sought instead to represent the nature of the tetrarchy itself, that is, to represent 4 equal partners in power. In 2 pairs of porphyry, purple marble, tetrarch portraits in Venice, it is impossible to name the rulers. Each of the 4 emperors has lost his identity as an individual and has subsumed into the larger entity of the Tetrarchy. All wear identical breastplates and cloaks, and each grasp a sheathed sword in the left hand. With their right arms, they embrace one another in an overt display of concord. Hold on, I think maybe my roommate's home. The Tetrarchy. So they each grasp swords in their hand and in the right arm, and they embrace one another in an overt display of concord. The figures have large cubical heads on squat bodies. The drapery is schematic. The faces are emotionless masks distinguished only by the beards on 2 of the figures, probably to identify them as the older Augusti as opposed to the younger Caesars. Nonetheless, each pair is alike as freehand carvings can be. Nonetheless, each pair is as alike as freehand carving can achieve. In this group portrait, carved 8 centuries after Greek sculptors first freed the human form from the formal rigidity of the Egyptian-inspired Kuro stance. So if you remember when we did the Egyptian stuff, they were like solidly embedded into like a piece of stone, like sitting there. And it was very like rigid and the rigid posing. And then they like started to free the body, and the Greek sculptures first freed the human form from the rigidity of the Egyptian-inspired stance. The sculptor once again conceived the human figure in iconic terms. Idealism, naturalism, individuality, and personality now belong to the past. Okay, so it's this one up here on the left. They have a sword in one hand, and they're hugging each other with the other arm. They all look kind of the same. So portraits of the 4 Tetrarchs from Constantinople, circa 305 CE. Porphyry, 4 feet 3 inches high, and it's in St. Mark's in Venice. Alright. Cool. Oh, you guys are saying bless you when I sneeze. Thanks. Okay. Let's move on, I guess. So now we have, yay, some exciting stuff. Constantine and Christianity. The short-lived concord among the Tetrarchs ended with the Diocletian's abdication in 305 CE. An all too familiar period of conflict among rival Roman armies followed. The eventual victor was Constantine, 306 to 337 CE, son of Constantius Chlorus, Diocletian's Caesar of the West. Oh wow, so Constantine was the Caesar of the West, of the Tetrarch. After the death of his father, Constantine invaded Italy in 312 and took control of Rome. Constantine attributed his decisive victory at the Milvian Bridge, the gateway to the capital, to the aid of the Christian God. In 313, he and Licinius, Constantine's contemporary in the east, issued the Edict of Milan, ending persecution of Christians. In time, Constantine and Licinius became foes, and by 324, Constantine defeated and executed Licinius near Byzantium, modern Istanbul, Turkey. Damn. Past Master Dan said, did Christianity take Constantine, or did Constantine take Christianity? Good questions. Okay, let's go back to this. So, yeah, so I guess Constantine worked with his buddy over in the east, Licinius, but then he became a foe and later killed him. Damn. Okay, Constantine was the unchallenged ruler of the entire Roman Empire. Shortly after the death of Licinius, he founded a new Rome on the site of Byzantium and named it Constantinople, city of Constantine. A year later, in 325, at the Council of Nicaea, Christianity became the de facto official religion of the Roman Empire. From this point on, paganism declined rapidly. Constantinople was declared May 11, 330, by the commandment of God. Constantine himself was baptized on his deathbed in 337. For many scholars, the transfer of the seat power from Rome to Constantinople and the recognition of Christianity marked the beginning of the Middle Ages. Wow. So this is on the right, the portrait of Constantine from the Basilica Nova in Rome, Italy. Circa 315 to 330 CE. It's in marble, 8 feet 6 inches high. Holy shit, that's a big head. It's in the Musei Capitolini in Rome. Constantine's portrait revived the Augustan image of an eternally youthful ruler. This colossal head sure is a colossal head at 8 feet 6 inches high. This colossal head is one of several fragments of an enthroned statue of the emperor holding the orb of world power. Wow, that orb. We still have an orb. Cool. Cool, cool. Okay, so where were we at? He was baptized on his deathbed, and for many scholars, when Constantine transferred power, when the power went from Rome to Constantinople, and the recognition of Christianity, that is considered to be marked the beginning of the Middle Ages. Constantinian art is a mirror of this transition from the classical to the medieval world. In Rome, for example, Constantine was a builder in the grand tradition of the emperors of the 1st, 2nd, and early 3rd centuries, erecting public baths, a basilica near the Roman Forum, and a triumphal arch. But he was also the patron of the city's first churches, including St. Peter's. Okay, so the Colossus of Constantine, the most impressive by far of Constantine's... Can you guys hear that music outside? That's something I can do, I guess. Why is it so loud? There's like a damn restaurant across the street. That's really annoying. Some people are trying to stream, okay? So here, where are we? So the most impressive by far is Constantine's preserved portraits is an 8 and 1.5 foot tall head, one of several marble fragments of colossal enthroned statue of the emperor composed of a brick core, a wooden torso covered with bronze and a head and limb of marble. Constantine's artist modeled the semi-nude seated portrait on Roman images of Jupiter, but also that fucking music is getting so loud. I'm hoping there's just a car that'll like fuck off and not the like restaurant. When's the next stream? Probably tomorrow. I gotta stream every day, and I haven't streamed lately because I had some family shit to do. Some really big family shit. Okay, so where are we? We're at the Colossus of Constantine. Constantine's artist modeled the semi-nude. It's so fucking loud. Oh my god, and it's terrible music too, because they're gonna blast music. Like, does it have to be like the shittiest thing ever? Oh my god. It's so distracting. It's so distracting for me. Pray for Maguina. Is that what it is? It's Katy Perry? Yeah, it's something like that. Hey Dan, what's up? That's so fucked up. I need peace. Ugh, God, okay, anyway, one of several marble fragments of colossal enthroned statue of the emperor composed of brick core, a wooden torso covered with bronze, and a head and limb of marble. Constantine's artist modeled the semi-nude seated portrait on Roman images of Jupiter, but also resuscitated the Augustan image of an eternally youthful head of state. The emperor held an orb, possibly surmounted by the cross of Christ, the symbol of global power in his extended left hand. Constantine's personality is lost in this immense image of eternal authority. The colossal size, the likeness of the emperor to Jupiter, the eyes directed at no person or thing of this world, all combine to produce a formula of overwhelming power appropriate to Constantine's exalted position as absolute ruler. I love that word, exalted. So good. But yeah, that's what we were looking at up here, I guess, is this colossal statue of Constantine. Oh my god, now it says stupid fucking song, something like fire away, fire away. And then it's like do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. I wonder if you guys can hear this. It's so fucking loud. Bye, Douglas. Thanks so much for coming by. Really means a lot. Okay, where are we at? We're at the Basilica Nova. Okay. Let me just look at this real quick. How many more things we got going on? Okay, we got the Basilica Nova is where we're at right now, and then we have the Arch of Constantine, and then we'll go through the big picture. Oh, how fun. We're almost done. Okay, okay. Fire away, fire away. Alright. If I can try to zone out this shitty music. I'm gonna try. Oh my god, it's so loud. Okay, the Basilica Nova. Constantine's gigantic portrait sat in the western apse of the Basilica Nova. Figure 349. Okay, let's just look at it for a second. Okay. So this giant head was here at this basilica. I'm assuming this guy all the way to the left here. You see him? This guy over here. I don't see an orb, but yeah, Constantine's gigantic portrait sat in the west apse of the Basilica Nova. He constructed near the Arch of Titus. From its position in the apse, the emperor's image dominated the entire new basilica. In much the same way, enthroned statues of Greco-Roman divinities loomed over awestruck mortals who entered the cellas of pagan temples. The ruins of the Basilica Nova never failed to impress tourists with their size and mass. The original structure was 300 feet long and 215 feet wide. Brick-faced concrete walls and 20 feet thick supported coffered barrel vaults in the aisles. These vaults also buttressed the groin vaults of the nave, which was 115 feet high. The walls and floors were richly marbled and stuccoed and could be readily admired by those who came to the basilica to conduct business, because the groin vaults permitted ample light to enter the nave directly. Let's look at it again for a second. What's so distracting about music, even shitty music, is that I was a dancer for many years. So I'm just so distracted by, like, wanting to dance. I'm a much better dancer than reader, okay? Or orator. Orator? Orator. Looks like something to build on Minecraft. I like that. Play some synthwave to cancel the noise. That's a good idea. Are you open to talk about the recent news about the UFOs? I'll talk about anything, but I don't really know what's going on with that right now. Any solid beat can draw my attention, said Blake. Blake is a dancer as well. So are you studying, or is this just for personal interest? This is just personal interest. I took art history many years ago, in the early 2000s, okay? Approaching 20 years here. Drunk enough for ancient aliens. Steven, we can do some ancient aliens shit, get into the Nephilim and all that. There's some shitty music, something about like calling me senorita, wish it wasn't so damn hard to meet you, like I don't know. I can't sing. I wish I could, but I can dance. And this music is distracting me. Have I ever visited the Vatican? No, I wish. Reading books about art history, it's a great pastime. That's right, Matthias. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Why not? Fuck it. This is fun. Alright, let's get back into it. Ooh, okay. Super Striker. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Hi, JD. Oh, I'm going to try not to be distracted by the music. Okay, so the groin vaults permitted ample light. Okay, wait, what is this? Before leaving Roman art, please explore Roman roads. Oh, that's very cool. Yes, for sure. Well, you know, this is interesting too because I lived in St. Albans, which is a town outside of London, and St. Albans, it was an old Roman town because Rome extended. You know, England was part of the Roman Empire. So there was the old Roman mosaics, there was Roman walls, there was old Roman things still in that city, and I wish we could go around and look at them this summer, but I'm not there anymore. Okay, so the groin vaults permitted ample light to enter the nave directly. The reconstruction in figure 349 effectively suggests the immensity of the interior, where the great vaults dwarf not only humans, but also even the emperor's colossal portrait. The drawing also clearly reveals the fenestration of the groin vaults, a lighting system akin to the clerestory of a traditional stone and timber basilica. In the Basilica Nova, the architect applied to the basilica design the lesson. Hold on. In the Basilica Nova, the architect applied to basilica design the lessons learned in the construction of buildings such as the Trajan's Great Market Hall, if you remember that from last time, and the Baths of Caracalla, which we just went over this time, and Diocletian. So, wait, let's look back at that again real quick. So here we have the restored cutaway view of the Basilica Nova, the Basilica of Constantine. It's in Rome, Italy, circa 306 to 312 CE. This architect applied the lessons learned in the construction of baths and market halls to the Basilica Nova, where fenestrated concrete groin vaults replace the clerestory of traditional stone and timber basilica. Okay. How come people don't get notified of my streams? That sucks. Okay, now we have the Arch of Constantine. How exciting. So the Arch of Constantine, also grandiose, is Constantine's nearby triple passageway arch. I don't know if I should say arc or arch. Arch with the H, okay. The largest erected in Rome since the end of the Severan dynasty, nearly a century before. Most of the sculptural decoration, however, came from earlier monuments of Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius. Sculptors refashioned these 2nd century reliefs to honor Constantine by recutting the heads of the earlier emperors with the features of the new ruler. Some scholars have pointed to the Arch of Constantine as evidence of a decline in creativity and technical skill in the waning years of the pagan Roman Empire. Although this judgment is in large part deserved, it ignores the fact that the designer carefully selected older sculptures to associate Constantine with famous emperors of the 2nd century. One of the new Constantinian reliefs above the arch's lateral passageways underscores that message. It shows Constantine on the speaker's platform in the Roman Forum. Constantine on the speaker's platform... Oh, excuse me. I just reread that twice. It shows Constantine on the speaker's platform in the Roman Forum, flanked by statues of Hadrian and Marcus Aurelius. And another Constantinian relief... Okay, so that's the arch in general. And that's like a relief... little close-up action going on there. The emperor distributes large... So in this relief, the emperor distributes largies to grateful citizens who approach him from right and left. Constantine is a frontal and majestic presence, elevated on a throne above the recipients of his presence, elevated on a throne above the recipients. Oh my god. I can't read right now. What's going on here? Alright, so... Okay, thanks Matthias for helping out Josh with the, what is it called? The notifications. Okay, I can't read. I've been having some wine and shit, and can't do it. Gotta get through this. Gotta get through this. Okay. Where was I? So... yeah, so there was... Constantine is a frontal and majestic presence elevated on a throne above the recipients of his munificence? What is that? We gotta learn new words. Remember when I don't know how to say shit, we learn something new. We gotta... What is this? M-U-N-I-F-I-C-N-C-E.
Munificence.
Munificence. It's like Maleficent. The quality or action of being lavishly generous. Great generosity. Ooh.
Munificence.
Munificence. Okay.
Munificence.
Okay. So, where are we? Constantine is a frontal and majestic presence elevated on a throne above the recipients of his munificence. The figures are squat in proportion, like the Tetrarchs. They do not move according to any classical principle of naturalistic movement, but rather with the mechanical and repeated stances and gestures of puppets. I see that. The relief is very shallow. The forms not fully molded, and the details incised. The frieze is less a narrative on action than a portrait of actors frozen in time, so that the viewer can distinguish instantly the all-important imperial donor at the center on a throne from his attendants to the left and right above, and the recipients of the largess below, and the below them in the smaller statues. Let me see what this largess thing is.
Largesse.
Largesse. Generosity in bestowing money or gifts upon others. the fuck? New vocab words. Never heard of that before. Money or gifts given generously.
Largesse.
Largesse. Okay, so I guess there are the recipients of his largesse below and of smaller stature. This approach to pictorial narrative was once characterized as a decline of form, and when judged by the standard of classical art, it was. But the composition's rigid formality, determined by the rank of those portrayed, was consistent with a new set of values. It soon became the preferred mode, supplanting the classical notion that a picture is a window onto a world of anecdotal action. Comparing this Constantinian relief with a Byzantine icon reveals that the new compositional principles are those of the Middle Ages. They were very different from, but not necessarily better or worse than those of classical antiquity. The Arch of Constantine is the quintessential monument of this era, exhibiting a respect for the past in its reuse of 2nd century sculptures, while at the same time rejecting the norms of classical design in its frieze, paving the way for more iconic art of the Middle Ages. So this is the Arch of Constantine looking north, Rome, Italy, 312 to 315 CE. Constantine's builders took most of the sculptural decoration of this arch from monuments of Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Urellius. Sculptors recut the heads of the earlier emperors with Constantine's features. Distribution of largesse, detail of the north frieze of the Arch of Constantine, Rome, Italy, 312 to 315 CE. It's marble, 3 feet 4 inches high. This Constantinian frieze is less a narrative of action than a picture of actors frozen in time. The composition's rigid formality reflects the new values that would come to dominate medieval art. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it did kind of go back, because like the classical Greek and Roman art had like really detailed, beautiful stuff, and then they kind of went back with this shit, which, I mean, it's kind of cool for the Byzantine stuff. The Middle Ages. Alright, I'm going to check in on you guys, and this is where we get into the big picture, just going through all of the periods of the Roman Empire. Just having a little brush up on them all. Let me see what you guys are talking about. I thought Constantine was a demon hunter, never realized he was a Roman emperor. Yes. Definitely not quality as slattern would have. That's right, Dan. Those are some words we're learning. Slattern. Why did I take humanities in college when I could have just watched your videos? That's right, Rockin' Records. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Repurpose, thank you so much for the $5. It really helps a lot. Is there anything left standing of the Basilica? Yeah, there's ruins. They say that the ruins are still enormous, colossal, and pretty impressive when you go there, so, yeah. Slattern's shaking my head. That's right. This fucking music, man. Okay, Slattern's, where are we at? I'm so irritated that that music is so loud. No respect, I tell you, no respect. Thanks, Matthias, that means a lot. Not really my teaching, just reading from a book, but yeah. You should see Dova Hattie's videos on Rome. That sounds cool. I love all that shit. I'm kind of here to learn along with you guys and just... It's, you know, each one doesn't really go through that much detail. When I was kind of doing my own research, not going through a particular book, I think I went through detail of each one a lot more than what they're going through in this book, which is surprising. I thought this would be pretty thorough. I mean, it's thorough as far as, like, material, like, span. If you guys don't know in math what span is, like, span. mathematically. Okay, so anyway, we have the Roman Empire, the big picture. The Etruscan art is what we started out with. The Etruscans admired Greek art and architecture, but did not copy Greek works. Etruscan temples were made of wood and mud brick instead of stone, and had columns and stairs only at the front. Terracotta statuary decorated the roof. Most surviving Etruscan artworks came from the underground tomb chambers. At Cerveteri, the great earthen mounds covered tombs with interiors sculpted to imitate the houses of the living. At Tarquinia, painters covered the tomb walls with monumental frescoes, usually depicting funerary banquets attended by both men and women. Republican art. In the centuries following the establishment of the Republic, 509 to 27 BCE, Rome conquered its neighbors in Italy and then moved into Greece, bringing exposure to Greek art and architecture. Republican temples combined Etruscan plans with the Greek orders, and houses had peristyles with Greek columns. The Romans, however, pioneered the use of concrete as building materials. The first style of mural painting derived from Greece, but the illusionism of the second style is distinctly Roman. Republican portraits were usually super realistic likenesses of elderly patricians. Hold on, someone rang my doorbell. Give me a second. Share stream. Okay. Early Imperial Art. Augustus, 27 BCE to 14 CE, established the Roman Empire after defeating Antony and Cleopatra. The early empire, 27 BCE to 96 CE, extends from Augustus to the Flavian emperors, 68 to 96 CE. Augustus revived classical art. His monuments make frequent references to Periclean Athens, and his portraits also always depict him as an idealized youth. Under the Flavians, builders exploited the full potential of concrete in buildings like the Colosseum, Rome's largest amphitheater. The Arch of Titus celebrates the Flavian victory in Judea. Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 CE, burying Pompeii and Heracleum. During the last quarter century of the town's existence, painters decorated the walls of houses in the 3rd and 4th styles. Then we have the High Imperial Art. During the High Empire, 96 to 192 CE, beginning with the Trajan, 98 to 117 CE, the Roman Empire reached its greatest extent. Trajan's new forum and markets transformed the center of Rome. The column of Trajan commemorated his Dacian campaigns in a spiral frieze filled with thousands of figures. Hadrian, 117 to 138 CE, built the Pantheon, the temple to the gods, incorporating in its design the forms of the orb of the earth and the dome of the heavens. Under the Antonines, 138 to 192, imperial artists introduced a physiological element to portraiture. Psychological element in portraiture, not physiological, psychological. Then what we just went over, the late imperial art, the late empire, 193 to 337 CE, opened with the Severans, 193 to 235 CE, and closed with Constantine, 306 to 337 CE, who ended persecution of the Christians and transferred the imperial capital from Rome to Constantinople in 330. During the chaotic era of the soldier emperors, 235 to 284 CE, artists revealed the anxiety and insecurity of the emperors in moving portraits. Diocletian, 284 to 305 CE, reestablished order by sharing power. Statues of the Tetrarchs portray the 4 emperors as identical and equal rulers, not as individuals. Constantine restored one-man rule. The abstract formality of Constantine's art paved the way for the iconic art of the Middle Ages. There we go. There we go. We got through it. Then we have early Christianity and Byzantium. Jeff, I am very interested in Etruscan-looking jewelry. I like some Etruscan jewelry, like big dangly earrings. I like that. That's what I'm interested in. Check out Ezinganger's channel. Thanks, Matthias. It's all about philosophy. There's plenty of videos on Stoicism. Cool. Matthias says, honestly, if you were one of my teachers back in the day, I would have been a better student. Your teaching is dynamic and easy to grasp. Oh, thanks. I think it's pretty terrible, but my math teaching is pretty good, so I don't just read from a textbook with that. If you have a date, there might be some confusion. That's where Istanbul is now. That's right. That's right. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited to go through this next chapter with the early Christian art. May have to start wearing my crown soon. May have to start wearing outfits soon for this. What do you guys say? I should have, for the Egyptian stuff, dressed up as well. I have most of my stuff in storage, to be honest. But I do have this wig. Let me see. Maybe this could be like... I had this really dope, like Cleopatra looking wig in storage. I just love that thing. But it's in storage, so I was looking for another one. I don't think this one is quite right. I think it's too short. Let's see. Hold up. Ah. Hold up. I gotta fix my bangs. Gotta fix my lips. How's this look? Gotta take my glasses off, maybe. Can't see! Oh my god. You hear a cat. You guys hear that cat. Gotta make... Oh my god. Honey, it scared me. I don't know. Gotta pin this shit to my head. Gotta pin it to my head. Totally changes the structure of your face. Yes, Etruscan jewelry is very interesting. Yeah, I want some Etruscan. Alright. Why was that like hidden saying yes, Etruscan jewelry is very interesting? Okay, that's weird. Aw, we got James Watson. Hey, thanks for the $10, buddy. He said, I saw you on Hotep stream. Big fan of what you do. Fork all the haters. Good luck out there. Oh, that means a lot. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, the Hotep's stream was pretty
Saw
fun.
you on Hotep's stream. Big fan of what you do. Fork all the haters.
Fork all the haters.
Good luck out there.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Means a lot. Alright, well, I'm done. I'm done with that. You remind me of Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction with the way... Yeah, and this, like, blouse right now. But yeah, let's see if you guys got anything else for me. I have a wonderful sense of humor. Why, thanks. Alright, well, I'll take any last questions or concerns, guys. It's really all I had for today. And tomorrow... Yeah, I should totally watch that stream. Thanks. Yeah, everyone should check that out. Let's, don't know how to say it. Dova Hattie? Show the Basilica again. I missed that part of the stream. Let's go back to what we looked over today. So we have this Arch of Constantine, where they took shit from previous friezes and like repurposed Constantine in there. Then we got the Basilica Nova, pretty cool name. And we got the large statue of him, just giant, and it looks tiny here. That means the rest of this basilica is probably gigantor. That's the colossal head that's there. I think this frieze is pretty amazing. Or, I mean, excuse me, relief, is it? Like, that's cool. Love that. Love it. Got more expressive emotions showing into this portraiture. The guy on the left is a badass. The guy on the right is a worrywart. This was the Baths of Diocletian, the Frigidarium, and it was remodeled by Michelangelo. But yeah. Alright, guys. Alright. When do I usually do these? I tend to do it around like evenings, Eastern Standard Time, evening. I don't know, around 6 to 8 p.m. I try to do it every day. I haven't done it in a few days, quite a few days, because I've been dealing with a lot of family stuff, but I'm back and I'm sorted. I'm done traveling around. I'm done sorting some shit out, and I want to stream every day. It's fun. It's fun to just hang out with you guys. Always learn something new vocab word, new history lesson, new art lesson. Okay, it's time to sleep. Everything is going through the other side. Bye, Martina. Bye, Stephen. Have fun tonight. Thanks, Matthias. Thanks, James. Yeah, I definitely need some tweaking. It's not usually this bad, technically. I had some sound issues earlier, and I'm not very prepared. I'm just cold reading along with everybody, so I'm pretty sure if I prepare my material in advance, I could do a lot better with presenting this. I also did have some wine while doing this, so I'm a little not a big drinker usually. I don't really drink, so okay, that's great, Jeff. Yeah, you should definitely message me, please. You can always find me on Twitter. My handle is my name, Martina Markota. Oh, thanks, Rockin' Records. Yeah, no, it's pretty shitty today. I'm kind of a hot mess. I haven't streamed in a while, but it's really fun. Sometimes they're really funny. We have a good crew in here. Everyone's really intelligent. They always add to the conversation, so just going through the art history is really fun for us. I mean, we're always bitching, complaining about the left, or, you know, everyone likes to complain. The news is all about pinning everyone against each other, and it's just like shock value, drama. YouTube has a lot of drama channels. Everything's drama. But, you know, what kind of world do we want to live in? Like, how do we want to better ourselves? And for me, my expertise is art and culture, and that's the stuff I like. I love art history, so I decided to just go through this textbook. It's Art Through the Ages. It should be in the description in this video. And it's by Gardner. And this book was actually the one used for Princeton art history class. And then I found out that the Princeton art history class is being taken away because it's too focused on Western art, white European Western art. So I don't know, we're going through it. Alright, you're banned on Twitter. You can always email me. That's awesome, James. Thanks. He said, yeah. Myself and a lot of people love this kind of stuff, so keep at it. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have little commercials. It's fun and it's artsy. It's always like a long intro. Sometimes people complain about that, but it being a live stream, some people love the content but wish it was condensed. And I say a lot of ums, and I really am pretty bad at reading this stuff sometimes, but the whole point of this is to just have fun with each other and be a long stream. It's always going to be at least a 2-hour video. Well, at least one. It's 1.5 hours right now, but it's usually like a 2-hour video. And we just get to hang out. Yeah, learn together. Look up some new things. Laugh at how stupid I am sometimes. Say a lot. Yeah, so. Alright, I'm going to get out of here, but I hope to get on tomorrow. I really can't be making any more excuses, so love you guys. Can't wait to go through the Christian and Byzantine stuff. Maybe I'll dress up. I'll start dressing up for this stuff. Awesome. Alright, bye guys.